So I mean, I'm an accidental non-academician. I will come to that story. But I felt that I should give structure to what I want to say today. It's not typical of me to read a prepared speech. I have speaking notes, but I will only refer to them. I won't read it out. But just put a structure around it. This is class 97. And I thought if we come, we can eat, have fun and go, but there should be something that will add value to us as classmates as we live here. People have traveled from Port Harcourt in the Niger Delta, people have come from Lagos, from the Boko Haram stronghold, my friend and big bros, Thomas Jangisi, and all that. People have paid the price to be, and I feel there should be a takeaway for them. And I want to discuss something. Class of 97, my subject will be class of 97. Make class of 97 a class act. What's a class act? The dictionary defines it as something or someone of extraordinary performance or prestige. In other words, it is something beyond the normal, something extraordinary, something unique and distinguished, something that is superlative, that is worthy of emulation, something that can be a reference point of success and significance. How do we make ourselves class 97? That class, a class act that will stand the test of time, leaving a legacy that will actually outlive us. And I thought of what Samuel Johnson said. He said, what is graciously given should be graciously received. So I count myself privileged at the maiden reunion of this great class to actually give this talk. On our chat, a lot of people have said, well, we couldn't make it and we'll come for next year's reunion and all that. But they actually, I'm not sure there'll be something again like the maiden reunion. There's something significant about it. And for those who have come, I really need to commend every one of us. The first thing I want to consider is the ABU as a citadel of cerebral personalities. We can look at the kind of people that have lectured us. I've interacted in the course of my 19 years in public service and now in the private sector. And I can say it is actually true that an ABU graduate, an Abusai, is naturally ahead. We had unique experiences in this school. At the time we came in, ABU was a mini Nigeria. I worked in places where I have seen people do because the school in places where admission was localized. Both the lecturers and the students were from local entities. In other words, they're so vigorously. And I had, at the nick of the last election, I had engagements with some persons. And I said some of our leaders failed because if you look at their resume, their primary school, secondary school, university was in one same town. And then they went to schools where they were monolithic and it was like one tribe, one state. But ABU was in mini Nigeria. So I hope it is still so. I hope I'm maintaining that tradition of ABU being a mini Nigeria. If it is not, it is a challenge I want to leave with us because it is something that makes us, we talk about diversity and inclusiveness. In the workplace now, we talk about it. It's a very cardinal thing. Reunion, I looked at that word reunion and I felt I should use it to say something. Reunion can mean so many things to so many persons. But for us, it's about reconnection. It's about reunification. People who have gone places, have had experiences, coming back to share those experiences. It's actually about, reviewing where we've come from, like the dean said, where we've come from. Obviously, some of us have made success in life, relatively. Some have not done so well. But when we review, it's not for criticism, it's not for showmanship. It is for us to be able to help each other, to strengthen each other. It's actually for reappraisal, if you like. It's also for relaxation and recreation. As we came in yesterday, we had fun. The camaraderie that I saw there and the things we posted, some persons who were not here, the feedback from them shows that if they had their way, they would actually want to be here. It's actually for reflection. And it's also for us to engage ourselves. That's the E there, to engage ourselves. It's for education, it's for empowerment. It's actually for entertainment, if you like. And it is for enrichment of our lives as we cross-fertilize. We have come from different places. I heard people, I'm chief admin officer here. I'm in the NUC, you need somebody with admission and all that. It's also for networking. I see that the U is for unity. And the N is for networking, for interaction, for opportunity, and then finally the last N, if you like, for me, the challenge for us, is the next phase of life as we've come now. What is the next phase? I will hazard a guess that I'm not sure any of us is less than 40 years. But if you are, maybe I should recognize you specially. You are less than 40 years. Can I see by show? You're less than 40 years. So I'm not sure any is less than 40. That will take you to actually anyway, for our lecturers here, for you, the reunion should be an opportunity to review the kind of students. But to review the kind of students you have, to examine the course content and curriculum. Because in some of our workplaces, truly speaking, some of the things we learned will not fit you employment there now. In the workplace, there is emphasis on problem-solving skills. There's emphasis on soft people skills. There's emphasis on team networking. There is a particular university also, I won't mention the name, but by some coincidence, and like in where I work is a multinational corporation, we are very rigorous with our employment prospect, and it's easy to see on the internet how those new schools, they are just glorified secondary schools. But over time, we've done some recruitments, and consistently, there's a particular school that has excelled. And it made people to ask questions that what is that school doing? And we found that the school teaches leadership. Political science department, do we teach leadership here currently? Do we teach people about presentation skills? Do we teach people about networking and engagement, stakeholder management? Do we teach people about organizational politics, office professionalism, and etiquette? I think these are things that, as a department and as a faculty and as a university, we can look at. But for us on the platform to move ahead, like our dean said, to consolidate on the success we have made, we need to guide against certain things. Again, I use that word reunion. We need to guide against retrogressive tendencies. I'm talking to my classmates now. We can disagree without being disagreeable. I see some posts, and sometimes, like on the lighter note I was saying this morning, we're posting reunion pictures. We're excited here, and somebody comes and says, a husband came late to the house. And I said, what does this connect with what we're talking about? So we need to guide against also ego and ethnocentrism. As a group, the E there, ego and ethnocentrism. We are different. Our levels we have attained in life. But we know that whatever we have attained is actually by the grace of God and the opportunities that have come our way. We also need to guide against uncouth comments. There are comments that you may think you are greeting somebody, but in that person's culture, you're actually insulting. For some of us who have traveled, expressions like this means well done, but in some cultures it's an insult. We also need to guide against nebulous plans and agenda, negativity in our comments, in our chat, and in our discussions. There are some plans that are not realistic. We want to support the department, support the university, but there are certain things that we simply cannot get into. We also need to guide against the offenses and obscenities. There are some things that are shared on certain social media platforms that are simply not acceptable for a group like ours. Lastly, the end, there will also not need to be nosy. There are personal boundaries that need to be respected. I mean, there's fun, there's all that, but some of us, for instance, were single when we were here, but we're not married. So there are certain boundaries we must respect. And so to move ahead, the R there, we must have respect for people. We must have empathy, appreciating people where they are coming from, understanding their psychology, understanding the challenges. Some of our colleagues are not here. There are reasons that are compelling for some. In fact, truly, some couldn't even afford the transport to be here. I've spoken with some people, you won't believe it. Some, their state governments, local governments have collected bailout money and they've bailed out only themselves and their families. And people are stranded. So we need empathy. As a group, the youth get understanding. We need to understand one another, and we need to demonstrate nobility in our various places of work. Because I had a misfortune one time of hearing about a colleague who was, I think, engaged in cyber crime. We need to sound this. This is a noble group. We also need to maintain integrity, walk the talk. You know, it's easy on the platform to say, oh, next year we should plan and post a lot of things, but how many people are actually going to be there for the 20th reunion if there's going to be one? And we need orderliness and some level of organization. Okay, thank God in a short while we're able to package this together, but we need to put some structure around our association going forward. You know, a structure with national and maybe state and regional chapter, and then of course networking. Finally, I want to say that the essence of coming to a school like this is to prepare us to be preferred. I say that again. It is to prepare us to be preferred in a competitive world. What can make us competitive? We need to read. I was asking myself the line that I was going to ask, how many of us are here with our jotters and are taking notes of some of what has been said today? In my office, for you to walk to see your boss, you need to go with your jotter and your pen, as simple as it is. For those of us who are lecturers here, we need to read and research. I deliberately came with a book here. I met a lady in UK last year, a white lady, at the Institute of International Strategic Studies, London. And this lady was introduced to me in Nigeria as an expert on Boko Haram affairs. As somebody had researched, visited Nigeria, and ladies and gentlemen, here's a book written about that person. We looked for the book on Amazon, it had been sold, it was not available. It was really difficult to get this book. How many lecturers can boast and say, I've written a book like this? I want to say that we who are alumni, some of us can partner with you. Some of us have been in theaters of conflict. I was here, started my career during the Sharia riot. I worked in an organization where I had access to understand some of the dynamics that played out. We can do research together, write books like this. On my birthday, I was transferred to Jos. On my birthday, 2001, the Jos crisis started. Again, I understood the dynamics of the Jos crisis. Currently, I'm in the Niger Delta, where there is a resurgence of militancy. And it's easy to sit here and do some armchair analysis and make comments about what is actually playing out. But those of us who are there, we understand the complexities and sensitivities of the situation. And I can tell you that it is complex, and as it is, the national commonwealth is actually under threat. And that makes me ask, as a department, we did study strategic studies as a course in 300 level. Have we considered elevating it, deepening that course? Dr. Aliyu broached the subject and said, leave it because I thought of talking about it. There's one of the new, about 2 universities now run international intelligence and security studies as full courses, degree level. If we can't do it at degree level, we thought of making it an MSc program. These are things we can look at the curriculum, the content, and engage on what it should look like. We can actually, some of us can come as visiting lecturers, sharing our industry experiences. I have a friend who worked in Halliburton. And what surprised me, I think this one is a case study about excellence and industry. He worked in Halliburton, and while he was there, he was doing presentations, he did his programs, he had his PhD. And he left the industry, and within 5 years of leaving the industry, he became a professor. It was a big thing in the University of Port Harcourt Petroleum Department. They looked at every criteria and they said, look, by every merit, this guy is a professor material. Today, he's the single African representative on one of those petroleum boards. But we can look at some of us coming, like also was mentioned, interacting with the students, telling them about the real life, the things that can help them. So I talked about reading, project management skills. There are a lot of things we can do that we can share. And also about excellence, their excellence and exceptional delivery wherever we are. A mediocre performance cannot get us anywhere. An average run of the mill, regular, normal people. Somebody said some people are born the normal way in normal hospitals, go to schools the normal way, graduate the normal way, marry the normal way, give birth the normal way, and die the normal way. I think we shouldn't be in that class. We should be extraordinary people. We should develop entrepreneurial mindset. The people who are training, certificates are no longer employable on their own merit. Do they have the capacity beyond the classroom knowledge to survive what like I said, is the Hobbesian state of nature out there? We need to utilize opportunities. That's a you there. Opportunities like I heard people mentioning, I'm a property person, I'm into this, into that. We also need never to compromise, I need to emphasize this, our personal health and finances. And I said I would say, for those of us who keep studying and have sedentary lifestyle, time has gone when having a pot belly was a sign of good living. We need to be conscious of our health with the greatest respect, watch our diet, fitness exercises, and take care of our families. Recently I went for, a secondary school mate died, and some of we delegated some people to go for the burial, put some things together. And it was quite embarrassing that the money we put together, they had to call the mother somewhere and say, this is your share. And they got the wife somewhere and said, this is your share. And we asked them, what is all this? They said they had family issues that were not resolved before he died. It's a challenge to us as we work, cultivate work-life balance. Who is your next of kin? Have you done proper documentation of your will? Have you planned your investment after now? Nigeria does not have, to the best of my knowledge, a good social security structure. Whether you retire as a professor, you must have put in place investment strategies, pursue intellectual and intelligence growth, know about emotional intelligence in dealing with people, interpersonal relationship. Then the O here is about office professionalism and organizational politics. I read a Harvard Business Review article